and welcome to the post-match reaction of Canada against Ireland. It ended in defeat for Vera Pauw's side in Perth, with Canada coming out 2-1 victors in the game. It was a game that was closely fought, and a game that, again, like the first game against Australia for Ireland, was a close battle. It was never a game that was taken away from them or it was completely out of their control. They were in the game right the way throughout and were creating chances and causing problems. It just ended up that they just couldn't find the net in a lot of occasions, and were struggling to really find those finishes in the second half. They started off an incredible start to the game. Katie McCabe from the corner, right hand side, direct from the corner, scoring the opening goal for Ireland. Got them off to an incredible start. They started the game, to be fair. The first 20 minutes, they were really dominant against Canada. They were breaking up the play. They were causing really issues at the back. They were threatening with the pressures. Kira Caruso once again was a key star for Ireland up front, really pressuring the centre backs, really forcing them to make mistakes. And I think that really helped Ireland in the first half. Canada really came to grips with that in the second half and were able to control it a lot better. And deal with the pressure from Ireland from those attacking areas a lot better. But I think Ireland, although started really well, the pressure, I think the first half they were really, really good. And I think unfortunately they found themselves back level. Canada getting that goal from a Megan Connolly own goal. It's an unfortunate one from an Irish point of view. But ultimately, Canada, although they didn't deserve the equalising goal in the first half, I would say they got that and it needed to be reset, and we go again in the second half. And that's exactly what Canada did. They reset. They said, let's reset, clean slate, 1-1 at half time. Let's go out and just win the game in the second half. And that's exactly what they did. They were much better in the second half, dealt with Ireland a lot better, much more dominant, much more controlled, and looked a lot more threatening. They were making runs in behind that they weren't making in the first half. They were finding spaces in the Irish defence that they couldn't find in the first half. They were doing all of the things that they didn't do in the first half. And that's what got them over the line in the end. A lovely created goal for Adriana Leon to get Canada's second of the game and to win the game for them. And after that, really, it was still a close fought battle. I have to say, although Canada were a lot better in the second half, Ireland never looked like they were never going to get back into the game. It always looked like it was one chance away from getting that equalising goal and getting themselves back into the game. But defeat sees Ireland going home. They needed at least a point from this game. No matter what the result between Australia and Nigeria tomorrow, Ireland will be heading home from their debut campaign in the Women's World Cup. But two games closely battled. Ireland couldn't get anything out of them, but the performances in them from Ireland showed the real desire in the fight that is expected of the team. And Ireland showed their best, did their best, and got their first ever World Cup goal. And I mean, it's nothing short of an incredible goal for Ireland for their first ever in a Women's World Cup campaign. But in the end, it ends in defeat and sees Canada top the group, which is even better for them. They'll be keeping a close eye on the game tomorrow between Australia and Nigeria. Australia on 3 points, Nigeria on 1, and Canada now on 4, unbeaten from their first two games. A draw against Nigeria in the first one, and then this win against Ireland puts them in a very, very good position going into that game with Australia on match day 3. So, and also it could help Nigeria as well, with Ireland not having anything to play for now. Going into that game with Ireland on match day 3, Nigeria could have the edge, definitely, but Ireland will certainly not let them run riot over them. They will certainly give them a good game, as they have with both Australia and Canada. And despite that, they haven't been able to come out with results, Ireland, but performances have certainly been there, and the desire from the players has certainly been there the whole way throughout. And I think that's incredible for your debut campaign to not be completely destroyed. We've seen a lot of debutants in this competition being completely destroyed in their opening games against tough opposition, and rightfully so. That's expected. You lack the experience of a World Cup campaign and a World Cup tournament, that it's expected of you to not really grasp it early on. But Ireland, in this so-called group of death, have certainly given their all and shown quite a lot of good things in this competition so far. And two games where Australia, one of the co-host nation and a really, really, really hard team to beat at times, they held them to a close fight and a 1-goal deficit in the end. And then Canada in this one, the Olympic champions. They won the Olympics. And a very, very good team as well with Canada. Holding them to a narrow game as well is all in Ireland's favour. But it ends in defeat for Ireland on both of their Women's World Cup matches. And they will be back, hopefully. They'll be hoping they'll be back in 2027 for another edition of the Women's World Cup. They do have another game. They will play Nigeria on match day 3. But it will mean absolutely nothing for them now. All they will be playing for is pride. And they will have quite a lot of that. So it ends Canada 2, Ireland 1. And we'll be looking forward to the final match day to see which of Australia, Nigeria and Canada can take those 2 spots in the knockout stages.